to believe it's not real. We're all trying to get high, to escape the things we don't want to feel. Now I've never seen the world with my own eyes. The virtual horizon's all we know. In the city, no one hears your cries. Desperate to escape, but there's nowhere to go. What did they do? We were born to live and die, locked in a hellhole under a burning sky. The war games of yesteryear, the poison that keeps us trapped in among the cyberpunks and creeps in the city that never sleeps. We are slaves to the code. Our destiny is fixed, that much is clear. Be careful what you question. The answers won't be what you want to hear. No one dares to look behind the veil. We're encouraged just to work and not to question. We need to earn our place and not to fail. Subservient and thankful to the corporation, the games they play. Trapped us in this lie where we survive the wasteland under a burning sky. A synthetic, fake landscape, a nightmare we cannot escape among the cyberpunks and creeps in the city that never sleeps. All right, okay. So, here in the UK, it is Monday lunchtime, and we are 1 week from the end of September. And as you just heard, I have got a song that sort of I've got up to the end of the second chorus. Most of the content that the song needs, from the introduction right up to the end of the second chorus, is present, but then it kind of runs out, and I've got 1 week to finish it and then mix it, master it, and release it. So I think I mean, obviously for me, I wasn't able to start Songtember until over a week actually into September, so I was at a little bit of a disadvantage there. But I've been thinking about this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep on with this track. I'm just going to keep on putting as much energy into it as I possibly can, and I'm going to finish it, even if that means I'm finishing it, just a little into October, because the point of the Songtember challenge is not really actually to complete it in September. Well, it is, but the main point of Songtember is to encourage people to actually finish a track, to commit themselves to, into developing, those little projects that you start that sound awesome, and then you get a bit stuck and you leave it and you start something else. Well, the idea is to encourage people to actually continue and complete that track, okay? So, right, yes, so the Songtember show, when all the tracks will be played on Pete's show, is actually the 7th of October. So maybe to use that as an actual target forget. I mean, the way I see this going is I think I will actually complete the song by the end of September. But then, of course, then there's the mixing and mastering, releasing. And I think it's a little bit ambitious at this point to say, yeah, I'm going to get that done, no problem. Although that is my usual attitude to everything, like, yeah, it's not going to be a problem. Let's just not worry about it and just do it. So anyway, so that's where I am, right? I've got, it's impressive what I'm managed to do so far, very fast. It's a complex song. Well, thank you very much for that, Matthias. It kind of is in a way, yes. I did. I mean, it did occur to me that what I could have done for Songtember is I could have just written a nice acoustic song, that that would have been fairly simple to record and arrange and. But it's just not in my nature. Whatever it is that I'm inspired to do, then that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm not very good at being realistic about stuff at all. Hey Russ, thanks for being here, Russ. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so actually, speaking of acoustics, I had a little accident last night. When I got back from my job last night, it was absolutely banging it down with rain. And so I wanted to unload the car and get all my gear back into where I store it. And quite a bit of the stuff I had in the car needed to come into here. And I just wanted to get it done nice and quickly and get out of the rain and go and get my dinner. And so I was rushing, and so I tripped over and went full length, and I didn't actually hurt myself at all, but I've broken one of my guitars. My favourite acoustic crashed into the concrete drive where I parked my car, and the body's all broken and split, and I think beyond repair. It's beyond my abilities anyway. I will seek advice on it and see if it can be fixed, but yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Anyway, right, so welcome to part 7, I believe it is, part number 7 of my Songtember Madness. Thank you for joining me. I am going to try to come up with something for the next bit of the track. So let's go to another view. Go to maybe here. Right, now. So this is where we have got to. We've got to the end of the second chorus, and then nothing. Now, I think I've been thinking this over, and I've not actually come up with any parts or anything yet, but I've been thinking over what should happen next in the track, and I'm feeling a key change. I think it needs to do something totally different after that second chorus. I want to put a guitar lead in here, and I'm feeling like if I put down some chords that are, a key change and a bit of a weird movement, maybe that will make me play some lead guitar over the top that's a departure from the melody that we have so far. So I need some chords, and I think I'm going to have a look at DRC because I got the Electric Sheep Dreams in-app purchase sent to me by Imaginando. But it was really weird because they released that pack just as I started my Songtember track and said, it's going to be a cyberpunk, cyber metal kind of a track. And that's exactly what the sounds are in that pack. So they sent it to me, and they sent me 10 codes. I've given away 10 codes for it on my Patreon account. So thanks very much for that, Imaginando. Really, really very much appreciated. So I think I'm going to have a look in DRC, see if I can find a sound, and then we'll have a look at using it to put down some chords for a middle bit. So I'm just going to come down. Oh, what I should show you actually is, before I do that, I should show you since I did my last stream live on YouTube, I did a Patreon stream, and then I had a little bit of time at the weekend. So I've moved the track along in some ways that some of you won't have seen. So I'll just show you. First of all, if I show you down here we've got some tracks that are now frozen. These synths have been frozen, so they are no longer consuming any processing power. Just to try and keep the DSP down, because I'd got a lot of AUV3s in the project, and I was seeing some spikes. A couple of slightly strange things happened as well during my Patreon stream. And I think it was just because Cubasis was getting a little bit overloaded. And so I've frozen some tracks off there. So they are tracks where I feel like that instrument, I'm not going to need that instrument again in the track. And of course, if I change my mind, and I do, I can always unfreeze it and develop that track further and freeze it again. I have... just expand this a little here. Right, so when I was putting the guitars in, I used Goblin for the guitars because it's real easy to use, and it's real easy to just kind of dial in that sound real quick, that sort of chunky metal guitar sound. And my intention was to just use that just to put the tracks down, and then later I would come back and dial in some more specific sounds. So it'll be this one first, I believe. Oh no, that one's already been frozen, and I did use Goblin on that track. So here we are. I'm still using Goblin for the main chunky guitar because it just does the job. Absolutely magic. And so that's left and right for that particular guitar. Then here, for the octave part, I'm using a really, really nasty sound on Dead Kitty. There's nowhere to go. But then I found, normally I would use the same sound on because I record each guitar in twice and pan one to the left and one to the right. But I just found with this one that it sounded really good if I used like the Goblin on one side and Dead Kitty on the other. So I'll just solo this for you. So Goblin's a little smoother and Dead Kitty's a little nastier, and it just helps to sort of make them poke through the mix. Because I've got things panned quite a bit already, it means that the mix on one side in one can is quite different than the one in the other. So different guitar sound is helping that one sound poke through the mix without being too loud. And then down here I used the Nimbrini MRH 159, which is just a magic sounding guitar sim. What I did here was I was looking for in the chorus where this part is happening. I wanted to sort of double that, but with a more mid-frequency kind of a guitar sound, because this one's playing the low end, and this one's playing a higher frequency. So let's pan this one to the other side. Right, so a nice chunky mid-frequency one. Right, let's put them all in now. right? So that's the three guitars I've recorded in the chorus. Well, I say three guitars. I've recorded each of them twice, so there's six really, and not timed at all, which is why they sound pretty full. I'll not go into that speech again about not timing your guitars because it just sounds better if you don't robotize them. Oh, hi Jade, thanks for being here. Right, so I am about to try and come up with something to happen after the second chorus. So let's just put the chorus on, right? We'll put the second chorus on. Excuses for my my scratchy, pitchy vocals. We'll get to the end of the chorus, and then this amazing inspiration will hit me about what's going to happen next. Right, okay, that chorus ends on A major. I want it to go immediately down. Now we're going to need a sound first, so let's just we'll do it. We'll put another instance of DRC in. So I'm just going to duplicate this one, and then I will just delete the MIDI from this one. Right, there we go. Okay, and I better pull this down on the desk because I'm going to need to search for a sound, and I don't want to blow anyone's eardrums out. And DRC sounds do have a tendency to be a little on the full side, shall we say. Okay, and is my keyboard working? Let's just arm the track. Okay, and so if I go to here, and by the way, if you're interested in this preset pack, which I absolutely adore, Jade has done a video on it where she goes through all of the sounds, and it's a great video just to sort of put on and chill out, you know, and just listen to all those sounds. You know, I mean, that's if you need to actually check them out before spending, it's a few pounds for awesome sounds. Right, so what the hell am I doing here? I'm pressing all the wrong things because I can't talk and press at the same time. So I go here and I select Electric Sheep Dreams as obviously it's already selected because that last sound was from there. And now, so here in this window, I've got all the sounds that are in this pack. So if I want to narrow it down, right, you know, if I want to kind of, I'm looking for a sort of a certain kind of a sound, then I can go here and select some kind of a description to narrow it down. So if I wanted a bass type sound, I just click on bass, right, and it reduces the field down, right? But I don't want a bass sound. And that's another thing actually that I've not done yet. I've not recorded any bass guitar at all for this track. I might just leave that while the last thing before mixing actually. And just kind of get everything else in the track done and then add the bass guitar. Because you know the bass guitar, it's the most difficult thing in the universe to mix if you actually want to be able to hear the notes and feel it and not have it too loud. And it can be quite difficult coming up with the bass part if you are a bass player first, and so obviously you want the bass to be impressive and awesome, but you've got to serve the track. And so for me, doing the best job on that, that I can possibly do is done when everything else is recorded. Right, so I'm going to press... Shall I press... what about synth? There are no synths. Come on. There must be synths. Yeah, there are synths. Of course there are synths. Or should I maybe press pad? Let's try pad. And we'll have a listen to a few pads, shall we? Well, that's mega. The problem is with these sounds, when you get great sounds like this in a synth, to me, I play a chord, and it might not be what I'm looking for a particular track, but I immediately go, oh, that's awesome. I want to make a track with that. And then we play another one, and I have exactly the same reaction. Ooh. Actually, I wonder if that would work. A minor, because it's because the chorus ends on an A major, right? So it ends on this. What if after the chorus I just drop it to an A minor? What if I just go? I like that pad, but it takes a little bit too long for that sort of movement to kick in, I think. I don't think I want the chords to last that long. I think this is the one I already used in the verse. It's gorgeous. I mean, you don't even have to be any good at playing keyboards. If a sound is that good, oh, I can play an A minor. Listen to that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with starting with bass whatsoever. I mean, you know, bass is great, you know. It's just that for me as a bass player, because I'm so, you know, precious and passionate about it, it works for me to do it last. But, you know, I'm not saying I always do that, because I don't ever always do everything in the same order at all. For me, creating, it's just like a shotgun blast going off, right? It could be, I could literally just start anywhere. I hear a drum sound and I go, oh, I've got an idea for a track. That's nice. Quite a lot of high frequency content though, and it's for a guitar to go over, so I think not. Replicant pad. Ooh, very organy. Ooh. Wow. That's just mental. It sounds so good. That's great. I do really like that. But is it suitable for the track, or is it just that I like it? I mean, maybe an organy kind of a sound actually is kind of... what was the one that was organy? Was it that one? What's this one like down an octave? It's gorgeous. Reverb drone. Lovely. Slow drone. Oh. I just want to hold my finger on that all day. That's amazing. That's cool. That's lovely. Yep. Are we all Blade Runner fans? I'm just a massive, massive Blade Runner fan. Slow replicant strings. No, that's not what I want. I definitely want something bigger. like that. Let's use that for a bit. Let's see. I'll live with that for a bit. Let's see if that's the one, right? Okay. So, end of the chorus, A major. We drop onto an A minor. And then we do some other chords. I don't think I want a major in there. It sounds too happy. To a minor. Oh, wait a minute. I'm doing the wrong thing with my left hand, aren't I? Because that's an E minor. Right, okay. So, start from the A minor. That's not a bad little movement of chords there. It's there are some majors in there, but it's not sounding too happy. And at the end, if I drop that F to a minor... Right, I'm going to run through those again. Okay, so throw it in the chat. Suck or suckless? And also, whilst you're thinking about it, also, I must mention, before I forget, that tomorrow evening I will be doing, well, it's evening here. God knows what time it is wherever you lot are. But tomorrow's live stream, which will be 8 o'clock UK time, I will have some codes to give away for Cubasis and the in-app purchase for... the Hallion Sonic Selection. Now, normally, I only give codes away on my Patreon. So my patrons benefit greatly from any codes that are sent to me. But this is kind of a bit more of a publicity thing for Steinberg. So this is going to be done to, the unwashed masses of YouTube. So if you don't have Cubasis, or if you don't have the Hallion Sonic Selection in-app purchase, then remember to tune in to that particular stream. And during the stream, I will tell you how you can qualify to win. Let's just see what we're going to do with the end of this. Because I'm going to need... After this, I want to go back to the chord progressions. What am I saying? Back to the chord progression for the chorus. So... I need to find a way. I'm going to be on an F at the end of this. I need to find a way to get back to A major and not have it sound stupid. So now then, let me think. So A major, relative minor is F sharp minor. What would it sound like if we went F, F minor, F sharp minor? Probably sound quite awkward, I would imagine. And if I continue to A major, let's see. That's not an A major. That's never been an A major, you stupid hippie. Well, I think that will sound extremely uncomfortable and weird, and maybe that's exactly why I should do it. So I'm going to do it. That's what I'm going to do. Now, so I think what I want here is just a very atmospheric keyboard sound. I don't need to do anything fancy with the keyboard playing. I just want it to be just that big sound and a very solid bass and drums behind it. Maybe drop out rhythm guitar there and just have a guitar lead that's kind of a bit crackers, and then we'll go into something solid and melodic over a chorus progression after. That's what I'm feeling. So I'm going to go here. This should be the end of the chorus. It is the end of the chorus. I'm sure it is. In the city that never sleeps. Right. So there. We'll have a metronome. How loud is the metronome? In the city that never sleeps. Oh, it's that metronome. Oh, yeah. I ought to mention that, actually. Right. So in Cubasis, you can change your metronome sound. All you need to do, get hold of the mouse, hippie. You go to setup, right? And you go down here to metronome. And you can adjust your metronome volume. You can also adjust, actually, whether you want it to come out of just one ear, whichever one you want, and or in the middle. And you can change your pre-count mode and everything, like you might expect, really. But you can also change the sound of the metronome. Now, this is not normally the one I use. This is a tom sound, apparently. But when I was recording vocals the other day, I needed a metronome. And obviously, it still didn't keep me in time, as you've heard. But what I found was, because I tend to have the cans up quite loud when I'm recording vocals, because I'm quite deaf, actually, which is probably caused by having headphones turned up too loud. But anyway, so the microphone was picking up the metronome sound, because the metronome sound, the default Cubasis one, is quite piercing, right? So it cuts through. So I changed it to this tom sound, and I turned my headphones down a bit, and it cured the problem. So this sound, if I do this, look, that wasn't getting picked up. But when it was this sound, the microphone was picking that up. Just overspill from my headphones. Right, so I'm going to leave it on Cubase sound for now. It's not the nicest sound to listen to, but it works. So I'm going to, I've got that track armed, yes, and I'm going to have a go at putting these chords in. What is it like at this speed? Hang on. Yeah, that'll be all right. I'll leave the left-hand notes out. We don't need them, really. There's going to be a bass guitar in there. How many bars is that? It seemed longer than when I was piss panting around with it. Let's have a look. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I was only really thinking of having about 8 bars, really. And I suppose the track is quite quick, so yeah, maybe it's okay. Let's go and sort this MIDI out. So I'm going to go here. We've got a glitchy note there. Look, we don't want that one. Get rid of that. Must have hit it twice. Well, if you're going to hit a bummer, hit it twice. Okay, right. So I'm just going to select all, go down here, drag up my volumes, and then drag them back down, and they will all magically be even. And then if I go to my quantize, and just make sure we're going to snap the note lengths to the end of the bar, and we want everything to be like a bar long. Yeah, okay. I think those settings are about right. That looks like it's done the thing. So, where what, Semtech? So, and by the way, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Where what, dude? We should listen to that. Let's listen to that after just the very end of the chorus, and let's see if this is too long. Right. I know that F sharp minor at the end sounds weird. I think I can make it work. So, hang on, let me just have a look at my chord changes here. So we did an A, we did an E, we did an A minor and E minor. We did a G and an F. Would that have been better as a D minor, maybe? It would. A D minor would have been nicer there, I'm sure. So I'm going to leave, let's see, we'll leave the A minor as it is, and then the E minor, and then A minor. Then we've got a G here, there. Right, we'll leave one major chord in there. This F, I think, D minor. So that would be, instead of that note, instead of the C, I want a D. Split that note up, move that up. Oh, look, we've got some double triggering MIDI. That's not good. Has it done that on all the notes? Oh no, just that one. Weird. Okay, so F A D, right? That's right, yeah. So that's going to go to a D minor. Then after the D minor, we go to the let's make the D minor half a bar. No, 1 bar, because they're lasting 2 bars, right? So we'll make it last 1 bar. There's some more double triggering here. Must be this old keyboard. Very annoying. Anyway, for now, let's get the chords sorted. I'll pull this one back, right? Make this a D minor up to here. Oh, look. More double triggering. Concerning. Makes you wonder how much more you've got in your track, doesn't it? Right, okay, so D minor just lasts to there. Then we go to F. So I need a C just there. Make this a bar long. Put a C there. And actually, I could have just left these notes full length, but then I wouldn't have known that I've got double triggering going on, so at least I know that now. Right, so it goes, so we've got A minor, E minor, D minor, F, and then we want it to go to F minor there. And where is my F minor? It is there, right? Yeah, that's right. And maybe we'll make that one a bit shorter. I'm going to have to listen to it now. We'll have to listen to the changes I've made. Yep, I like that exactly like that. So I'm just going to join a few notes together here. When using a sound like this, wherever a note can sustain through into the next chord I want it to. Right, I like that. That's cool. This should be a different colour, so I can tell it from the DRC above it. So let's just go and grab a different green. I've not got enough colours now. There's so many tracks in this, so many instruments in this project now. There's just not enough colours to go around. I want a colour picker in Cubasis. I want. Okay. Now, this means... Oh, I'm not on the screen. Right, so this means that I now have some chords for a change in the middle of the project. That's great. And then after that, I think I'm going to go to a chorus arrangement and my colour obsession. Yeah, but it helps a lot, doesn't it? You know, it really helps in a big project. If you always make particular instruments the same colour, then you just get used to looking for certain colours when you're navigating around a big project. You know, like my bass is always purple, right? So if I'm looking for my bass guitar, it's going to be purple. And, you know, and I just find it really helpful. And what is available now in Cubasis 3, now that Cubasis 3 is capable of doing so much more than it was a few years ago, you know, now that we've got much more powerful iPads, what we have available in terms of the number of colours is just not sufficient. Well, you know, the lack of white is a massive problem to me because pianos are white. They're always white in Cubase, right? I've always done them white because when I was a little kid, my mum had a piano and it was white, and I split my head open on it. I have a scar here on my head from when I was running, and I shouldn't have been running, and I tripped and I split my head open on the edge of the piano. You didn't need to know that, did you? Anyway, right, so I kind of had a thought. I kind of had an interesting thought. Here's the thing. At the end of the chorus, before we go into this change, right, the drums do this thing. In the city that never sleeps. I want that's going to be too loud. Let's just turn that down a little bit before it starts to piss me off. And I'll just go here. The master is here. In the city that never sleeps. That's better for now. There's so much to that sound, it's massive. Okay. That drum thing at the end of the chorus, I thought, what if we repeat that before this bit kicks in? Maybe if I just move this across a bit, just give us a bit of space to play with, I'll just run with this idea. In the city that never sleeps. Right. Now, do I include all the other instruments in this idea while I'm doing it? Oh, do you know what? I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you the most important change. When I was talking earlier about the changes that I've made since I last did a stream on YouTube, I forgot to tell you the most important change. Yeah, let me show you this. Right, go to iPad view. My drums. Right, I got One Shot, and I got the download for Unholy Drums, and I loved it so much that I've completely got rid of my old Yamaha drum machines from this project, and I'm using One Shot. And what I did was I built a kit which I've called Burning Sky, right? And and what I did when I built this kit, I used one of the presets from the Unholy Drums, and then I arsed around with the sounds, and just changed the sounds of it to suit my taste. And then I added some extra drums to it. So I added an extra crash, and I added a couple of cowbells, uh, and a couple of other bits and pieces, a shaker, I think, and just some sounds that I found in the other in some of the other kits that come with this app, and things. See, because there were a few sounds in the kit that I thought I'm not going to use those in this project, so I'll get rid of those and I'll add a few that's interesting that I might use. And so what I've done, I mean, it might be a little bit difficult to see because it's very small. One Shot is absolutely mental. It's brilliant. I love it. It's the best thing for drums we've ever had on iOS. It really is utterly superb. And in each of these little instrument pads in the bottom right hand side, you've got this drop down list here where you can select what output you're going to use for that drum. So if you're just using this in like stereo out mode, right, you just select main out at the top. But if you're going to use the multibus out thing, then you've got 8 outputs. And so I've put them all on different outputs. Now, what I did, because you've got 8 outputs, but you also have the main out, what I've done, so that in effect means that you've got, it means that you've got 9 outputs. Complicated maths, that was. So that I could use the main out for an instrument, what I did was I took the effects off the main output and I turned down the bus sends and got rid of those, because the effects that come with One Shot are actually awesome. But for this track, I'm going to want to send these drums to reverbs and effects that I'm using for other instruments in the project. So I won't actually need One Shot's own effects on the buses. So I got rid of those, and that meant that my kick could just be on channel 1, giving me 9 outputs. If I could request one feature for One Shot, I would just ask for more outputs, and that's it. Other than that, it's just absolutely insanely good, and exactly what we've needed for drums on iOS for such a long time. And I mean, because you know how much I love my old Yamaha drum machines, right? But once I heard this, I didn't give them a second thought. I just took all those tracks out of this project, and I'm like, this is going to be a one-shot track. So, as you can see, I've got the multi-output buses already sorted. So the MIDI is just on one track, and then these are all the outputs for the other instruments. So as you can see, I've got 9, and then I've got them all going to a group track. Now, my idea. It could be a mental one. It could be a bit ridiculous. But I'm thinking, what if these drums here, let's play it from here, and maybe we'll just solo the drums. Yes. Okay. Expand this out a little bit with that handle there. Yes. Okay. Zoom in on this. What if this was double? So I delete those, grab this, copy that, move it across there. We want to snap to a note, don't we? Let's snap to 16th note. Right, okay, now, as you can hear, I've got the volume going up on these drums. I'll just show you the velocities. Look, right, so you can see I've got the volume climbing throughout that snare fill, but then realistically, a drummer wouldn't do a crescendo and then go back down and do it again. You keep it going, right? So now, do I make it one long one, or do I just make these all full volume? Let's try that first. There. Oh, no, right. No, that's not what I want to do. That's not how to do it. This is how to do it. I mean, for God's sake, I made a video on this. There. Right, select the ones that you want to change. Then go down here. Do this. Right, let's check this out. I want to hear that again. I can't decide. What if we make it triple length, right? We're going to make it triple length. I'm going to copy all these. I know what I'm doing. Honestly, I do. I promise you. I have half an idea what I'm doing. I'm going here. I'm going to paste this here. And then, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean, Semtex is a ramp. But, I mean, like, do I want to ramp the whole thing? Or do I want it just to ramp up so far for the first one and then stay at full volume? Because I'm thinking about what I'm going to play over it as well. So maybe we should actually, in fact, try and do a ramp for the whole thing. Let's do it as it is. Okay. Well, let's try it. So if right, I'll grab all of these, grab all the snares, and then we'll whack the volumes all up to full, and then I can draw a ramp like this. Maybe a little bit more drastic. Start it a bit quieter. Very difficult with the mouse. I'm going to have to use my finger. Where's my side camera? And it wants one on the end, doesn't it? It wants a... let's swap this symbol out here. Instead of hitting the same symbol 3 times, let's move this to that one. There, and then at the end, well, let's hit the China at the end. That went right. Apparently it was. Yeah, it is right. It's just that one wants that Crash wants to be a bit louder in the mix, but that's all. All right. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think that's pretty awesome. Now, what do I want the other instruments to do over that then? Right, what is this guitar here doing at this point? Oh, I know. We're first. Let's take this synth to the... where does it go to? If I snap this to half a bar... Right, so it goes up to there. So if I pull this... No, I didn't want to do that. Try again. No, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to have to use my finger. God's sake. There. So that's the synth coming up to... Okay. Now, what else needs to be extended? This choir. Oh, I accidentally recorded some audio down there. Let's have a listen to that. Yeah, okay. I just must have had a... Yeah, I had the guitar input armed, so I've accidentally recorded some audio there while I was recording the MIDI keys. So, how has that recorded that then? That must have recorded through the pickup on my guitar, which is plugged in. My headphones must be loud. Anyway, so that takes us to there. I know. Room ambience. I know, man. That's mental. Right. So let's move those guitars over then. So that will be there. Now, I wonder if I can edit these guitars and copy them across, or shall I just... I'll just play them in again, I think. I'll just play them in again. Not right now. I'll just do that. Yeah, I'll play those in again, and I'll do that later because I'm on a roll here with with working out what to do with this middle bit. So that comes to the middle of that bar there. So then we want the new DRC bit to kick off from here. There. Right. Now, I want this to be very bass guitar and drums oriented, because I want I just kind of I want it to be like a full sounding it's not that I want to make it sound pissy pants, like as if we're going into a mellow slow bit. It's going to have some screaming lead guitar stuff on it, but I'm thinking like take away some of the thickness of the sound that we've had up to this point. So, you know, get rid of the choir and the synths and everything, and just kind of drop it down a little bit, make a nice change for the ears. So let's do some drums. And they will start from there. Is that right? It is right. Okay. I was going to show you a little tip then, just a nice tiny little tip, you know, but I screwed up already. Right, okay, so I want a new MIDI part to work on, right? But I don't want to add to this part. I want it to be its own thing. And to make a MIDI part appear in your project, you need to use your markers. So you pull a marker in and pull another marker in, double tap in the middle, and you get a new MIDI part to work on. But that, when you are working on quite a big project, can be kind of laborious, actually, minimizing your whole project, finding out where the handles are, dragging them in just to create one MIDI part. So what I do is, quite often, is like here, I've just lengthened that one, and then I just split it there, and there, I've got a new part. Maybe we should label it, actually. So I'll go in here, and we'll call it something exciting and sophisticated. Middle bit. There. Okay, now we have a middle bit. And I'm just going to lengthen this MIDI part out, actually, so it's like a full bar. Now, what do we want here? Let's make it 2 bars. I like working on 2 bars of drums at a time recently. Right, okay, idea. Now, the thing about when you're working on like cyberpunk style stuff is, to some extent, you want to keep it reasonably straight, right? Because cyberpunk just is. And obviously, I have in this track, I have used some slightly different rhythms. I'm not sticking with it absolutely rigidly, but by the same token, you know, I'm not suddenly going into a funk section. And that kind of is often the way I normally write. Oh, let's just do a funky bit now. I wonder whether we could just do like a low tom thing. I don't mean like a blockbuster thing. That one and that one. like that. I like that. Uh, hmm. Let's make this one and this one. There. And maybe we'll bring in a higher tom for the a variation here. I don't know about that. I'm kind of tempted to just stay with that low part. I wonder. Maybe put in like one little gap. I don't know, because I really like this. What if we just double this up? Yeah. For anyone who is not a patron, and it's very, very inexpensive, and you do get great value for helping to support the channel if you do decide to join. What Semtex means is on my Patreon before, because what I do is each Friday lunchtime, which is lunchtime UK time, I do a private stream to patrons, and all I do is I make some music and we have a chat. And then I'll leave it, and the next Friday I'll pick up that track and carry on, and we do the same thing again. Coffee, chat, make some music, nice and laid back. We have a laugh, and so when I have finished working on a track, then I'll put it to patrons. What kind of track do you want me to make next? And so the last time the most popular vote was disco. So I was kind of halfway through making a disco track, and then September started, so I've had to leave off it a while. So as soon as I finish this track, I'm back to disco. Yeah, that's it. Talk bollocks, have a laugh, piss about with drum machines. It's great. I feel like it does need a variation. There's some kind of change in the middle of this. And I really like it, but it's missing something. I wonder if I was putting my gap in the wrong place. What if I move this kick? That's what I was hearing, and I just wasn't programming it right. Okay. Now maybe the thing I was kind of trying to make happen will work now. Right, yeah, okay. And now maybe my other idea will also work. So if I go like this, copy this, put this over here, and now change the end of this to go like right. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, do I want some symbolage? I'm not sure that I do, you know. Maybe just a bell. Maybe just not. You know, if it's not needed, why piss about with it? So now, how long does this need to be to go up to the end of this part? It needs to go up to there. Okay. Copy the across. Oh, that's magic, that. Right, now, at the end, it's going to need to build back to the chorus, or at least the chorus. I don't know if I'm going to sing over it. I'm just thinking at the end of this, the chorus chords would work magically. If I've just had a mad idea. What if after this section, I use the chorus arrangement, but instead of the singing coming back in there, I play the melody from the chorus on the guitar with some nice guitar harmonies to it. And then after that, finish the track with a chorus, but not just like another big chorus, you know, like the Bon Jovi finish, you know, air grab, key change, fans come on, you're standing on top of a mountain, you know, aerial photography. And none of that, instead of that, right? So it would be guitar plays the melody, harmonies, and then at the end, maybe drop it right down and do like just a piano. Sing the chorus, same key, slowed down, different phrasing, just a piano. Or the organ. What do we think? What do we think? Is that the worst idea you've ever heard in the history of ideas? If so, I might just have to try it. Right, so this, let's focus. So this bit here is going to need to go back into a chorus part. I've decided that. So we need these toms to do something at the end. Faith no more. What a band. Right, so they just want to do something different. Same. Maybe not have. Right, so there will not have the pushed kick there. And we'll maybe reverse the. Maybe we just do. maybe we just do a climbing Tom fill. So like a something like. Not that one. Maybe make that one last a bit longer. Like that. What am I doing? There, right. Ah. Yes. There we are. Right, okay. I'm going to run an ad because I remembered. So I'm going to run an ad. So if you guys are thing YouTube Prime folks, then you are not hearing an ad right now. So now I forgot to tell people to tell me that they are back from the ad, so I won't know when it's finished. But anyway, right, so I'll just waffle about something for a moment. Yes. So I've been thinking about maybe starting one of those YouTube membership things. Well, you know, where you pay a little bit of something each month, that just helps out the channel a little bit, and you know, it means you get to have icons and things in the chat and stuff. I've been thinking about using it as a way of people being able to support what I do fairly inexpensively. My hesitation about it is that I'm a very small channel. I don't get an awful lot of support. I get now, I don't want to say I get very few donations to make people donate. I'm not saying it for that. What I'm saying is it doesn't generate a lot of revenue, if I can get my words out. And the way that I like people to support really is to be part of Patreon. And my fear is that the people who are already patrons will be the same people that would join it. So you know, just I'd be interested to hear from you, your thoughts. Don't have to be right now, you know. Think it over. Get in touch. You have my information. Right. I like that. Maybe we should add some crashes. Maybe we should add some crashes to that last bit there. I kind of like that idea. So that would be as from just there. Crashes. Where are crashes? Oh, my mouse just died. Well, it's not dead, but it's not working. What's going on? I'm going to switch it off and back on again. And it's working again. I'm an IT genius. It's, all right. So there's a crash. There. Right, we'll use that one. And my mouse has gone again. Why is it doing that? Do you know, Bluetooth mice, I absolutely, utterly despise them. All right, off and on again. So draw just there. And then maybe there. Right. Fingers it is. There. And where's that china? There. I really like this china. I like that. Okay, I am enjoying that. That makes me happy. Did you see that though? I remembered to run an ad. I'm I'm getting good at this. Dude, have you lifted samples from Cubase into Cubasis and made your own kits? No, I haven't. But that is an excellent idea. Now, I've thought about that. And, right. So, here are my thoughts. Groove Agent, the drum software that comes with Cubase, is the best there is. Now, I know like lots and lots of people would argue with me about that. What about Superior Drummer? What about, Native Instruments this? What about BFD that? Yeah, okay, fine. There's a lot of really good ones. Easy Drummer, right? There's a lot of really good ones. But for me, having used all of them quite a lot, I would say that to my mind, Groove Agent is the best there is. And there's a lot of fantastic sounds in it. So it occurred to me, well, maybe I could like sample a whole bunch of drums from there and I could use them in Cubasis. I could bring them into one shot. I mean, that's the ideal thing to do for iOS really, is bring them into one shot. Then whatever DAW you're using, right? You just use one shot and there they are. Perfect, brilliant. Right? Now, here are the reasons why I haven't done it yet. A is because it's a very time consuming thing to do, and I get really bored doing things like that. I like to spend my time creating music. I hope this doesn't sound like terribly pompous or something, but I like the creation of music. What I get really bored with is the pissy panting around of, sampling stuff and saving stuff to files and transferring stuff from Dropbox and moving things around. And, I'm like, all the time I'm doing stuff like that, I'm thinking, I could be working on a track now, So that's kind of one reason. But the other reason that is kind of connected to that as well is, like, Steinberg gave us those in-app purchases in the shop. Like Hallian sounds and the FM sounds and so on and so on. And I thought, well, maybe Groove Agent sounds are coming. Maybe that's next. And also, we've been pestering Steinberg for a sort of a drum editor inside of Cubasis for quite a number of millennia now, and they haven't said no, and I'm very hopeful for it. And so, it might be Groove Agent or a version of when they do, so, Can you get addictive drums for Cubasis? Addictive drums. Now, what's that? Addictive drums. I know that. I know what that is, don't I? Where's my mouse? Right, hang on. I know about it, and it's not just coming to mind what it is. Let me just type that in. Addictive drums. Oh yeah. I have seen addictive drums. I don't have it. I have used it. Well, I haven't used it. I've been recording in the studio where it has been in use. No, Addictive Drums is not available on iOS. But to be honest, I would say that One Shot is, I mean, and that's an interesting thought actually. Something I've not considered. One Shot versus like Groove Agent or Easy Drummer. Now then, One Shot is not as exciting to look at. It doesn't have the graphics of a kit and all that stuff. You can't move bits of kit around or anything like that. But in terms of like being able to like load up lots of samples and get round robins and articulation and the control you can get out of it, it's magic. It's the best thing by far on iOS, and to be honest, yeah, it's well up there with that stuff. So highly recommended. And if you're not convinced, hey Ed, thanks for being here, man. If you're not convinced, just look at the price of it. Then look at any piece of drum software that's available for desktop. Then buy it. Now, drum fill, yes. Okay, and there we go bursting back into a chorus arrangement, but with lead guitar over the top of it instead of a vocal. That's what I think. And I think that lasts for one chorus length and then something completely different. Something very Python. Now, should I maybe sort out this guitar part here now? It's going to mean getting into some audio editing. So from here, right. Okay, I'm going to need to get closer for this. I think the Bluetooth mouse is in bits. Okay. I'm going to move this keyboard. It's in my way. Where are we for time? Okay, maybe I've got time to do this now. So I will select these tracks and I'm going to split them all there. Now, where's the last bar of... Is it there? It's there. Right, so that's where the last chord needs to be. So we're snapping to half a bar up here. So I will pull this across here. That's where the last chord needs to be. Right. But I'm going to need this chunk of audio to last for longer. Let's make this a bit bigger. So I will select here and split that. Okay, now grab all of these, copy, paste, paste again. Okay. Now I'm going to have to do a little bit of editing. Yeah, the China just sounds awesome, doesn't it? It's just like, sometimes people tell me they don't like the sound of China cymbal. Like, why would you not like the sound of a China cymbal, especially that one? They sound mega. There. Oh, hang on. Have we got a hanging note? Let's go to a MIDI channel. Routing. Oh, that's a frozen one. That's no good. An actual in-use one. Right. MIDI panic. MIDI panic. Not working. It's not working. Why are you not working? Alright, just play the MIDI again then. Okay. Right. Now, I have the audio in place, but some little bits of editing needs to be done here. So if I go like this, right, so now we take off snap to grid, a little fade here, and right, a little fade there. Now, it's things like this that sometimes I think when I'm streaming, I think, well, I'll avoid doing that because that's not like a right exciting thing to watch. And I'm not right good at talking while I'm doing stuff. Uh, so I could tell you an interesting story while I do boring things, but I'm not really very good at being able to do that. I'll just sort of make a complete arse of what I'm doing while I tell you some story that's probably not actually that interesting anyway. Uh, okay, so that's edited the front of those bits of audio. Now let's just sort these ones out. And I've already told you my tragic story about last night's little accident. So, that sounds a bit ominous actually for anyone who's who wasn't in the chat earlier. So, if you weren't in the chat earlier, I had a fall last night, and I'm perfectly okay. I just tripped, and I've not hurt myself. Even though I'm an old man, I'm not very big. I'm not very tall, so it's not far to fall for me to hit the deck. But I've smashed my guitar, and I didn't cry. I didn't cry, but I was close. It's my favourite acoustic, and it's got a Batman sticker on it. And I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure that it is repairable, but it's one of those guitars that it doesn't cost a fortune to buy, and so it seems silly spending a lot of money on it to fix it. But it is my favourite one, my favourite acoustic. So it's all a bit heartbreaking. First world problems and all that. Right, now what I'm doing right now is I'm simply, where I've copied those bits of guitar across, I'm making sure that where I've cut the audio is not. I'm basically, essentially, by doing this audio editing, I'm moving where the audio is split to between the chords rather than the middle of a chord, right? So that we've not got any audio glitching at the joints. Now, I would not advise, unless you're quite experienced at doing this, I would not advise doing it the way I'm doing it, because I'm doing it and I'm not listening to each and every one as I do it, which is what I would normally do if I wasn't doing it in a stream. But that would be very, very long and laborious, and I've done it enough times that I can probably get away with doing it without doing that. I'll solo everything at the end. I've almost finished it now. I'll solo everything and have a listen and check, see if there's any mistakes. That one's actually not right clear where it is, so that could end up being a mistake. I'll have a listen, see if I've made any mistakes and correct them if I have. But I've done this so many times that I'm just kind of, from looking at the WAV, I've got a good idea. And incidentally, this is the oops, twatted the camera again. This is the thing that I complain about with Logic Pro for iPad. What I just did there, editing all those audio joins, took me a few minutes. In Logic Pro for iPad, you can do just as good a job of editing audio, but to me, the way that you have to do it is incredibly slow and laborious, and it's tedious. And to me, it makes me think that the creators of Logic Pro for iPad they're not thinking about people who are recording lots of real audio. They're not thinking about guitar players and vocalists and stuff. It's their focus is on a different kind of music. You've only got to look at what they include in the sound packs, which are of no interest to me whatsoever. I just to have done that job there in Logic Pro for iPad would have taken an absolute age. And that's my biggest irritation with it. Although I cannot deny that it does some things a whole lot better than Cubasis. Alright, that sounds right. Okay, right, let me check the chat because I've been a bit engrossed in that, and I've been ignoring you. So, I like the guitar tones of Thu, but things are a bit pricey. Not a fan of their UI though. They choose sliders instead of the knobs on the units. Although you can tweak the knobs on the desktop. Yeah, I hate that, Ed. I hate it. Thu sounds incredible. Absolutely incredible. Really, really does have some awesome sounds in it, but it is pricey and the UI is rubbish on iOS. Yeah, okay, so just scanning through the chat because I've been ignoring you for a while. Yeah, I mean, if the money isn't a problem, I would say yes, go for it, because there are some great sounds in there. And alright, the UI is a bit pants, but it's very pants actually. But does that really matter if the sounds are great? No. And have we got a new version of Amplitude? Like IK said was coming a couple of years ago? No, we haven't. So, it's a good one to go for. Although, to be honest, for me personally, with a combination of the Aurora DSP apps, the Nimbrini apps, and Tone Stack, I've pretty much got what I want for guitar. But it's always good to have more because guitar. Scan. Right, okay. Yeah. Right, okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. That works. So let's have a listen to this all now, going into the new section. In the city that never sleeps. Right, now we want a chorus arrangement to happen right there. Now, will it be possible to select everything in the chorus and move it across without making a massive screw up? Let's just check where it's going to come in. So it's going to come in like there. If I just put my playhead at the end of the middle bit, now let's just check how long the track is. 4 minutes 40. But there again, it doesn't start at bar 1, so it starts at 11 seconds. All right, so it's already 4.5 minutes. I don't care. Right, so this chorus is gonna start at bar 153. Where's the chorus? It's here. Now, just have a look down at the. It'll probably be better if I use the first chorus, I think. It's not got that extended ending on it. I'm going to want the MIDI from the drums and the MIDI from a couple of synths and all these guitars. I think we might be able to do this. Let's see. Try and select everything. It's not scrolling for me. Bastard. Try again from here. Why does it do that thing? Well, sometimes it'll just scroll up for me. And sometimes it just won't. Why? It's just awkward. Now then, what's that instrument there? Let me just check what that is, because it's kind of in my way. I think it's just an instrument from the intro. Oh, it's the yeah. Okay, that is in my way. Okay. Well, I'll just have to copy it and delete it later. So, make everything as small as we can. Drag it down here. Chorus 1. Spread it out like this so I can see what I'm doing. Right. And press select. Right, it's not going to scroll for me, so I'll just copy that as it is. We'll do drums afterwards. Select the DRC channel over here. Right, snap to bar. Bang that there. Paste it in. Okay, yeah, that's because of that. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to drag this into place. We said bar 153, didn't we? Right, that's the one that was in the way. I'm going to delete. And then I need to copy the drums over. Yep, copy. Stick that over here. Paste that there. Right. Did we get it right? Well, hello, audio. There's a poem I should read. Okay. Right, let's see. Nice try, Jamie, but you just came out the other end fast. What? I me no understand. Am I missing something from further up the chat? Yes, obviously I am. Please explain. And what's this about a poem? Tell me more. Right, so that would take us up to the end of the track, at the end of the guitar solo, and then we just need a chorus on the end, which would need to have a very different flavour. So we would want like a nice piano song that's played freehand. In other words, we can slow down and not be trying to play it in time. So, yes, right. So there's that to do. There's the piano at the end, if in fact it is a piano that I go with. So there's that to do at the end. There is actually a way to stretch MIDI in Cubases. So a way of like being able to take a MIDI part, stretch it out, and have it play back slower than the tempo of the project, because of course we don't have a tempo track, which is still massively frustrating. So things left to do is we need to put down guitars in this bit. Right, so I need a lead guitar part for there, and I need to put down lead stuff over this section. I need to re-record all the vocals, record the bass for the whole track, and do the piano for the end of the track. Like I say, if it's going to be a piano. So, yeah, kind of getting there. Okay, so the end of the track could just be, if we're going to do the chorus slow, it could be, what if I use this sound from here? And slow it right down. Okay, so if I take right, we'll copy that. Actually, I don't need to copy that. I can just do that. Now, what if I was to stretch that? Yeah, MIDI time stretch. There. So that would make it slower there. Yeah, I'd have to do some singing over the top of this and just kind of find a right pace for it. But that's how I could do that MIDI, that end chorus with just, if I decided exactly what the whole arrangement is that I want for the last chorus, maybe record it all in at 130 beats per minute and then time stretch all of it evenly. I can slow it down or play it in freehand if it's going to be piano. Now, if I went to a piano, here's an important question. If I went to, a normal acoustic piano sound, would that sound dreadfully like not in keeping with the rest of the track? Would it just sound like, not right? I can't think of the word. But yeah, if I just kind of come out of that sort of cyber metal kind of sound just to a piano, it could be like super dramatic and clever, or it could sound completely wrong for the track. I'm not really sure. And I think the only way I'm going to be able to find out is to actually do it. So maybe, okay, if I just undo this. Just get rid of that for now, okay? We've tried that. If that could possibly work. Or maybe, the other alternative is I could drop it down to some cyberpunk sounds that are in keeping, just slower. That might, it'd certainly be a safer bet. Okay, so got some good stuff done today, but still a lot to work on, still a lot to do. Okay, right, so before I go, because I will have to scoot off in a moment, I'd just like to say thank you very much to those of you who have joined me today. I mean, I love, I'd love just being sat here in my studio making music. That's great. But it's a whole lot more fun when there's people online I can chat to and kind of sharing it. And sometimes throw very useful advice into the mix as well, I have to say. And yeah, so I've been through the things that I need to work on, things that I need to get done. Just getting this ready to use as a play. Right, so, okay. Don't forget, my next stream will be 8 p.m. UK time tomorrow night. And during that stream, I will have some codes to give away for Cubasis 3 and for the in-app purchase, the Hallian Sonic Selection. And you need to watch the stream to find out how you can win them. Obviously, yes, if you already have them, I'm sorry that the codes I have are things that you've already got. Quite a few people have pointed out to me, well, I've already got those, Jamie. Well, I'm sorry, that's what I've got to give away. At the moment, I've got 5 for each. I've got 5 for Hallian, 5 for Cubasis 3. All right? So I'm going to clear off now. Thanks ever so much for having been here. And, if you do want to support the channel any, I would massively appreciate it. And my preferred method for you to do that is by joining my Patreon. And all the other ways that you can help and support the channel are listed down below this video. All right, so take fantastic care of yourselves. I'll see you in my next stream. Be good people, and do try not to piss pants about till then. See you. Such a beautiful sky. question. The answers won't be what you want to hear. No one dares to look behind the veil.